another edition of Checking In with Hein and Johnny, where the hosts bring in mystery topics that neither host knows anything about until the mics go hot and on the air. We are the show that keeps the host from talking about the weather and World War II 24 hours a day. Hey, Heine, man, what's on your mind?
What's happening, Johnny? What's happening, Johnny?
It's the Halloween show. So I brought out the only spooky item I own. It's for the nerds. It's the evil emperor who's been racked with shocking, disgusting lightning. Our viewership just got bored just right then.
That was the scene in, which one is it where I think it's in Return of the Jedi, where the Emperor just sits there and zaps Luke.
Poor Luke.
And they interviewed Jeffrey Dahmer, and they said that scene really turned him on.
That's real spooky.
That is just for Halloween, a Halloween spooky thing.
That's a Halloween spooky thing, my friend. Talk about a Halloween. The production meeting, as usual, Hein brought us all into the board meeting and had a production meeting. We wanted all the good ideas, and we came up with this mug.
God.
The interns were severely beaten.
And then took it.
We fired them. We will have all Halloween conversation fun for Halloween. Halloween is right like tomorrow. For those of you who can't wait to watch our pod instantly. And thanks to everybody who comments and puts information into the show, which we really love. We have been pleasantly surprised by the viewership, and then we have it all to you guys to thank. So thanks so much. So, Henry, what was the best Halloween you ever had? What was the best costume you ever looked forward to?
Well, you pushed that button. So, I don't know if this was the best one. So when I was about 14, two of my buddies who were probably 13, said, "Hey, honey man, let's go trick or treating this year." And I think they said, like, aren't we a bit old for this? Nah, come on, we got to go get some candy.
It's free candy.
So I grabbed my bathrobe and my pillowcase and a belt, and I took a large machete, which was from El Salvador, with an attractive leather sheath. And I put that on my bathrobe belt. And on the way out, I grabbed my Africa Corps pith helmet, which was left over in World War II stocks. And
big surprise about the World War II
when the
reference.
Germans lost to Africa, they had lots of pith helmets left over, and these wound up for sale in England cheap. And so my aunt brought me one. And so I grabbed that and I put that on, and away we went trick-or-treating. So that's not the best part. The story is, so we're out trick-or-treating, and we're approached by some older boys who had driver's licenses, and I didn't think anything of it. And so we're talking to these older boys, and all of a sudden, my friends back away from me, leaving me alone. And the next thing you know, I am knocked on my ass. The candy goes, and they grab my Africa Corps pith helmet and run off towards a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I believe it was a yellow one with the black trim.
Jeep owners.
And so as a 14-year-old who has just lost his Africa Corps pith helmet, what do? you draw your machete and you chase those bastards down. So
Nice.
I wheel out my machete, which is chrome glowing, and I go at them. And on the way back, the kid like frisbees the Africa Corps pith helmet back at me.
Thank goodness.
And so I got that back, and I got up to the door of their car, and I'm holding a big machete, and all these guys are on the other side of the Cherokee.
I love it.
And in terror, and I'm standing there with my machete, and it's like, well, I guess this is the part where I chop these guys to bits.
Yeah, this is Act 3. This is the payoff.
Fortunately, I did not chop them to bits, but and so they hauled ass out of there.
Yeah.
And so I went home, of course, in tears because I'd lost all my candy and a pillowcase.
Oh,
and so I told my dad, and so he got the 410 shotgun out, and we went out hunting for these guys.
Hunting for Jeep owners. Let's go, Hank.
It's like,
Shotgun.
Dad, it was just a pillowcase and some candy.
It's like, no. This is bigger than that, Henry. Pick your battles.
And then,
We didn't die in World War II for this.
Looking back, I said, Dad, I really got them. I don't think they're taking down any more kids, especially armed children.
They weren't expecting Henry.
So that's my favorite Halloween memory, which has aged well over the past 50 years.
Yes, can you imagine that situation with a child today? A machete on the costume, just out relaxing for trick-or-treating. That would be less common today.
Well, come on, there's some dudes around this neighborhood who all these years are like, remember when we went out mugging children and that one came at us with the machete?
We'll be watching a pod one day and they'll tell that story at Halloween.
And I'll be
that weird, crazy kid. So did your dad ever find the Jeep Cherokee and
no, thank God
kill
we
those
didn't.
Dudes?
No. We went home and I went to bed with no candy.
Yeah.
But that memory.
Yeah, mean teenagers stole mine as well. Same thing. Naughty teenagers grabbed my candy, bawling like crazy. My older brother's like, somebody stole your candy? So he runs after him. Same thing. He's like, I'm going to kill these kids. They're going down. He brought my candy back. Yeah. He definitely, I didn't ask him what he did, but he brought the candy back.
He probably used his 1908 artillery model Luger with a 9-inch barrel.
Your family's references to World War II are much higher than ours, Henry. I would say that's 100% for most families. I love non-PC memories. Like my favorite parts of the holidays, like the Great Pumpkin. Oh, well, look at this. I'm about to do a professional sound effect for eye candy. I'm pretty impressed with myself. Thank you. So when I watch The Great Pumpkin now, Sally is a total jerk to Charlie Brown. They would never let you put that show on for little kids. She's a horrible bully, and Charlie Brown, you cannot produce a show like that any longer. You never would be able to. Parents would be they would never be on again.
But
it's amazing. We love it.
Microaggression.
Yeah, you wouldn't, and all the stereotypes about the beauty, the gorgeous girl with the red hair and all that. We just don't like that anymore. We don't like bullies and talking about the beauty, even though it's
Pigpen of the
Oh, you stinky poor
The
kid.
dirty little kid.
You dirty, stinky kid that no one likes. Not appropriate. Not appropriate. The only thing that people really did bring up that was really funny is South Park about Sherman making the little black kid's name Token, because poor Sherman was a token black kid in the show, and those South Park kids, those are naughty boys, but it was super funny.
They crossed some lines.
They would be able to make this show, but just wouldn't be for kids. They would be able to do that.
Well,
Yes, sir. I cut you
no,
off.
go right ahead. Well, are we still on eye candy?
Heck yeah. Yeah, totally eye candy. It's Halloween.
Well, that's as every week I have a service department meeting with our guys who do the service work, and I always bring them donuts for this meeting.
You're a good CEO.
Yeah, I need to be the guy. They probably want some donuts. And so I go to a place called Fresh Donuts and Deli.
Delicious. It's a
27th South and State Street. And this place, if you get there at 7:15, you'll get in and out pretty quick. But if you're there at like 7:19, there's a line around the building.
Yeah.
And I never knew much about donuts, and then you have to stand in behind somebody who says, "Oh, I'll take a dozen and 3/8, and can I have an old-fashioned and a maple bar and one of the chocolate sprinkles? Not that one. That one has too many sprinkles on it. The one next to it." And so I get there and just like 6. Give me a dozen, 6 glazed, 6 chocolate. So it's these people, and I don't know it's obviously a family, because they're all from not this country.
The not this country people.
Not this country. And so I was on a Delta flight, a rather lengthy one, a 3-movie Delta flight. And the middle movie we chose is a movie called The Donut King. Have you seen it?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
It's on Hulu and Prime. The story is about a man, Ted Ngoy, who has escaped the joys of communism in Cambodia. Man. And he comes to America with nothing, as they all did, and falls in love, has a donut, goes to work at Winchell's, and proceeds to open little tiny donut shops around the country and runs Winchell's out of business. There's no Winchell's around in southern SoCal anymore, because these. And so,
King.
Me putting 2 and 2 together, asked the last time I got donuts, I went in and I said, where are you guys from? And they said, Cambodia. And I'm like, it's here. It's real. I won't spoil the movie by telling you the rest of the film, but there are these, he got all of his Cambodian associates who came to start donut shops. You should watch the film. So,
nice.
My brother went on a trip to Cambodia and brought back, as a gift to me, this attractive scarf, which is the typical Cambodian scarf that they would wear. And what do you do? It's like, this is a great scarf. What do you do with your Cambodian scarf?
Wear it on Heine and Johnny.
No. You wear it to the Cambodian donut shop to see if you can get a discount.
Get 13 donuts for the price of 12.
Didn't happen. Nothing.
No. It's not there in Cambodia. There's no such thing as a baker's dozen.
Those people suffered, and they're taking their revenge.
They're taking your revenge on one donut, number 13.
They constantly get voted the best donuts in Salt Lake. They're in the newspaper. There's a line around you wait 15 minutes, but they are there at 2 in the morning making donuts, working every darn day. It's
That's
insane.
Awesome.
So watch that movie, Hulu, Amazon Prime, or a Delta flight. Still might be on the Delta queue.
Because it's true. And
it's a true story.
Think of Heine's delightful scarf. I am way underdressed now that Heine has a sweet scarf. I feel a little guilty for the big Halloween show.
Yeah, sorry, that was a Halloween off the rails. Didn't really have anything. They do have Halloween donuts there.
Ooh, I love spooky themed donuts.
Green with the green olives for eyes and all that.
Yeah. Krispy Kreme have delightful themed ones. Dunkin's. I like to call Dunkin' Donuts Dunkies. They have that's my pet name for the Dunkies. They have delightful Halloween items. On the theme of eye candy, my favorite dude, Tim Burton, for those of us who are a little older, he is like the Halloween king. One of my favorite family movies is that Nightmare Before Christmas. Really great. Halloween.
You a gambling man, Santa Claus?
Oh, such great lines. The two-faced politician and Sally, you tried to kill me too. Yeah, I love that. I love those characters.
Wormswort, Frog's Breath.
I love it. Love it. Opens up the brain. Great
film.
movie.
Absolutely.
And Disneyland does the Haunted Mansion in that theme. And really fun. Oh my gosh, it's super cool because it's different from all the other times of the year, and that is a great Halloween memory for me. Also, the movie that you reviewed, Beetlejuice. He's of course that, and big thing on Wednesday, the show that the hot new kids watch on Netflix. Season 2 of Wednesday's coming out, so that's definitely Halloween themed.
That's the Wednesday Addams thing.
Yeah. The first season was really fun. I mean, it was the dance she created is viral. My granddaughter just went crazy for the dance, and everybody in the world learned it and had fun with it. We had black sheets, blankets, and walls in my granddaughter's room for many months, but she's grown out of that. We don't do that anymore. Too much for kids. Sorry. Oh, Grandpa, that's just so stupid now. So last week. So why do we think people like getting scared? Why did you do a lot of super scary movies when you were younger?
No, I'm of the age you'd watch on Nightmare Theater.
Yeah, at midnight. Yeah,
and I remember going to bed after watching The Mummy. They just showed him, or not. I didn't even make it through the whole film. They were wrapping the guy up, and they said they cut out his tongue, and his eyes are going nuts while they're wrapping him up, and that was it for me.
Yeah, you don't love being scared. You don't like all the.
So I made the children as required watching, and we'd have Friday night movie night, which was just great. And so endlessly, I would bring home the films like Tarantula,
nice.
Where the experiment goes wrong with the nuclear, and the bugs get big. And then they're causing all kinds of problems. And then at the last 30 seconds of the movie, they call in the Air Force. And a couple of P-80s come in and napalm the tarantulas, and the show's over. And so I watched, I would rein the kids. The kids had to watch those, all the best movies. And we got to Psycho.
Oh.
And that one, everybody fell asleep except Connor would stay up. He was a night owl, and he was terrified by that movie because
it's real life.
It was a little more, right, big bugs we can handle, but Frankenstein, House of Frankenstein, not that spooky.
Yeah, as adults, somebody wielding a machete is really something that is real terror.
Well, when you grew up in a rough neighborhood, you were kind of used to rolling with the punches.
Mean streets of the ghetto. In the
Oh,
yeah. So part of terror, one thing that I wouldn't have noticed for ear candy, the book I listened to, the autobiography for Billy Idol, when we were, in high school, he was at top of his game. I mean, he was humongous. The spiked hair, the punk attitude, the snarl, all that. Really, really, chart-topping videos. And so he did the autobiography just about that time period when he was releasing his biggest, album. And so he's the cocaine parties and motorcycles and all that. And he starts that autobiography out when he gets hit by somebody on his motorcycle. So he actually, talks about the near-death experience where he's dead. And the family members, he feels the family members reaching out to him while he's dead, and just feels enormous love from these folks. And then he comes back, and his femur is out of his leg, and so it's a really cool book in that you don't really delve too much into somebody's life like Billy Idol, because he has an image that he definitely sold, the record company sold, but he's super introspective about his life, because his favorite subject in school, his only subject in school, was religious studies.
Wasn't he like president of the Johnny Rotten fan club?
Yeah, he
running around England trying to
he was
trying to amp up the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, and he loved all those early dudes. He loved Jimi Hendrix, and he was totally inspired by the Who and the punks. That was his main thing.
And fortunately survived to write a memoir.
Exactly, because his lifestyle clearly did not lend itself to a long and healthy prostate or brain. He attests to many, many episodes. So, kids, don't do drugs. Stay in school. Coincidentally, of course, he had a dislike for school, except for religious studies. One thing that I was interested about...
Did he go to Skyline?
Did he go? Was he just a year below us or above?
He might have been that guy giving me the power wedgies in the locker room.
Yeah, everybody has that memory in the back of their mind.
I have two. I have Eyes Without a Face and Dancing with Myself. They're on my playlist.
Huge.
And I turn them up every time they come on.
Yeah, White Wedding. Oh my gosh. No cocaine themed songs for you.
Is that what it is? Is that what it's about?
Well, I believe they're just a sliver of cocaine themed songs in rock music, and that may be one of them.
I stick to the theme of guys who fall in love with prostitutes or topless dancers. Those are my song themes.
Well,
there are a ton of them.
Then the headbanging ball time period of MTV is right up your alley, Heiny Man. You and Chris came to our play when we were in Palm Springs for those races, and my fanny is sat on the sofa watching the Headbangers Ball at 12:30, and you guys are like, what is wrong with you? This is idiotic. I'm like, no. Wait till you see this sweet video coming up of Welcome to the Jungle. It's crazy. Chris is just like, I didn't expect you had this bad a taste. I'm like, oh no, I have that bad a taste. I still have all those songs on my iPhone, of course. But yeah, we danced the night away to Billy Idol stuff. It's super fun. I love it. Generation X. He was in a band called Generation X. It was definitely in that Sex Pistol time period, and they rode that wave. So well done for them. But he had debilitating stage fright. Speaking of frights, and he kind of got inspiration from Jim Morrison of The Doors. You know, face your fears, and then you get freedom because you conquer your fears. So you have
another person who didn't make it all the way to write his memoirs.
Lots of books about Jimmy.
Yep.
But not too many.
Not by him.
Not a lot of years of the Lizard King. So, yeah. Oh, a message from one of our pod listeners is that we need to do Dave Grohl's autobiography. The delightful Connor mentioned that, you know what?
Listener number 3.
We never expected our kids to listen. Oh, and of this topic, remember when I said, wait till the comments come out. Somebody is going to totally berate you, Henry, about Halle Berry's age. So we did get a comment. Listener 4, my son, Johnny, Halle Berry is 59, Henry. So he mocked Tiny Man in the comments. Can you believe that? Guts.
Johnny, any press is good press.
That's right. That's what I say. Anything in that way is perfecto. So
that's right.
Love it. What other things do we want to bring up about scary situations? Any real life scary situations that truly scared the bejeebies out of you? Anything like that?
Gosh. No, I'm totally fearless. I just face life with an iron jaw.
Yeah.
And move forward.
As you should.
What a black cat. I think one day I went out to the dumpster to take out the trash.
Yeah.
And I lifted the can to dump in, and a cat leapt from the dumpster onto my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
That'll scare the bejesus out of you.
Yeah, that will.
And he was a nice cat, a cute little cat. I should have taken him home. He's kind of dirty.
Well, they get a little feral. They get a little angry when they're starving.
He had one of those little fish skeletons in his mouth that you carry, or the cats carry around. No,
you're kidding me. He actually had a cartoon fish skeleton from Looney Tunes.
He did.
I love it.
I don't know where he got it. It was obviously in the dumpster.
My guess, I don't need a compass from my Boy Scouts, but I'm guessing it was from the dumpster, Henry. I'm guessing that's where it's from. So you bring up a really popped into my mind animal. So I mowed lawns when I was 12 because I had absolutely no money and I needed more record albums. And so I mowed lawns. So Steve and Ruby Richards lived up in the rich folks area by you. And so I would go mow their lawn. And he owned the Granite Furniture, and a big store chain. And so I'm up there mowing their lawn, a palatial.
Granite's on the railroad track, savings greater, that's a fact. Oh, sorry.
I bought the mower from them. The mower that I bought was from them, and then I mowed their lawn. That seems a little slavery-like, isn't it? Anyway, I digress.
Or
entrepreneurial. So I'm mowing their grass, and it's getting late, like seriously late. So it's so dark, I'm like really not doing a great job mowing because it's too dark to mow. And my parents for the 7th time, have forgotten me. I'm the 6th child, so they have forgotten that I am up in the rich folks' houses mowing lawns, so I'm done and nobody's home. So I'm like, I think I have to walk home. There were no cell phones as there are now, so...
Or Uber.
Dumb Johnny does not get Uber. He starts walking down in the middle of the night, and 2 dogs defending their turf, you know, just jump, and they're like on me. I'm screaming, ah! I mean, I am bawling my head off by the time I drag myself home. Ugh. My mom, oh, I'm so sorry. Were you mowing somewhere? My mom.
Did they bite you?
No,
Did you come away with any wounds?
No, you know, they just... No, thank goodness. They were just like somebody's neighborhood dog, right? I mean, you know, two shepherds.
They were just loving up on you.
Exactly, but I didn't sense the love that they were sending out Johnny's way. So I was just the most terrifying thing ever. I mean, and ever would be. I mean, nothing's... I thought I was a goner. So, man, that brings up animal... real-life terror. That was the most terrifying event of my life. My parents left me like 4 different places in my life, and my older sister more than that. It was a common theme to be walking around someplace waiting for them to remember that they have kids. I think they probably didn't leave the first couple of them anywhere, but then you get down to that 4th or 5th kid, it's like,
yeah.
You know, we've got more. We've got more.
The only person who like leaves me places like that is my wife. And when I had children, they would, we have to go get Dad. She'd be, okay, I guess I'll do this for the kids.
Do we really need it? I mean, I do a lot of things because I love my kids. This is one of them. Well, you've paid her back, though. You go to ballet. So, you've done your job. All right, honey man. We are done with the spectacular. Everybody should. If they're listening to the pod right when it drops, we drop them on Wednesday. So thanks for everybody listening to them and getting our numbers up. Because one day, our numbers were what we're trying, the big goal. Our first goal was 100 plays, but we got that in the bank. We got that easy. We're surprised because I never imagined we'd give I honestly never imagined we'd get above 20, but
I thought the goal was 5.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was thinking our family would listen, so we beat that. But the big goal now is we're hoping that someday in 2037 we'll have 1,000 plays, which would be awesome. That'd be great.
I keep discouraging people from listening.
Hey, you guys, there's a link on my Facebook. Please don't click it. You'll just be angry. You just be angry at me. I have to I am going to apologize in advance. I say rude things about my friends and family. I'm sorry in advance. But one thing you really should know, I have an excuse. I'm kind of a butthole, so you should have seen it coming. That's my special Halloween message to my friends and family. You should have seen it coming. Hey, one thing we did want to tell you before we leave, Henry, is there an extra special production of you doing something called the turkey dance coming up?
You're not going to want that.
Oh, the people have spoken. Oh,
not happening, Johnny. I'm not doing that. It's not ready. It's not ready for prime time,
well,
or even a podcast with 2 listeners.
It's not ready, but it doesn't have to be ready because it's not Thanksgiving yet. The turkey dance will be coming. The production values are through the roof. I've seen some of the storyboards that the interns have turned in during the production. They're vast. There's camera moves, quick edits like the kids like. There's hip hop funky beats with a big bass bottom.
I'll have to see if I can still fit into my budgie smuggler.
I want photos of the budgie smuggler. The budgie smuggler. I never knew budgies were the song, the Clash song, Budgie Sucked a Budgie. I didn't know a budgie was a parakeet. I never knew that until like recently. I'm like, why? What's with the budgie phrase? It's a parakeet in England.
Is it that or is it a cockatiel? It's an Australian tune, baby. Like shrimp on the babby.
I bow to you. I do not know.
It is a small bird.
It's a small bird.
A very small bird.
2-pound coconut. With that, we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody. You guys have a fantastic week.
Thanks for listening to Checking In with Hein and Johnny. You can follow all things Hein and Johnny by subscribing to Checking In with Hein and Johnny anywhere you listen to podcasts. Checking In with Heine and Johnny is sponsored by Conveyors and Equipment. They supply, design, and service all types of conveyors, belting, and material handling equipment since 1972. With 3 locations to serve you, Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, and El Paso, find them on the web at conveyequip.com. That's CONVEYEQUIP.com.